kids really did show us everything in a couple of minutes. Now go over there and collapse.
This is really embarrassing. I can't figure what we should do next.
How about finding a place where I can sit down and soak my feet?
Sit down and soak your feet, Land. That's the one thing Walt Disney didn't think of. Let's see, I know Ray Charles is at the party. Oh, and there's a whole family from Michigan City, Indiana, all wearing matching T-shirts.
Guess who's next? Tell me more about this place.
Right where we're standing was once a swamp. But in 1961, Walt Disney hovered above it in a helicopter, and he looked down, and he said one of those wonderful things he always said.
What did he say, Betty?
Drain that sucker.
How poetic. Hey, let's try and find Emmanuel Lewis. I know he's at the party.
Oh, I'll bet he loved hearing about the draining of the swamp. I mean, men love that kind of talk. Like swamps and football and sweat.
Well, I can't argue with that. I mean, I could, but why? What I want to know is, where is Harry Shearer? I hear he's popping up all over the park doing his comedy impressions.
No!
Yes. Betty? 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 Oh, great, great. The #1 Walt Disney World fan, and she's going to miss the electrical parade. Oh, would you look at that train? Oh, there must be 100,000 lights on it. And that reminds me, I've got to get home and pay my utility bills. Oh, that is beautiful. There's Mickey and Minnie. Hi, kids! You know, Betty was right. There's something magical about this place. And I guess when you're surrounded by magic, you can't help but feel that magic in your own heart. Want the music to last. Want the magic to live. Want the star to wish upon. Give the child in you all the love you can give, and the party will go on and on. On and on, happily ever after. On and on, good music and good friends. On and on and on, living life with laughter. On and on, the party never ends. Oh, on and on and on, happily ever after. On and on, good music and good friends. On and on and on, living life with laughter. On and on, the party never ends. Never ends. Never ends.
Oh, Bea, that was lovely.
Oh, thank you, Betty. But, Betty, where were you? You missed part of the parade.
Oh, I was taking pictures of the guy who screws in all the bulbs. I don't want to miss anything.
Look at the cute little turtle with the glasses.
I dated a guy who looked like that.
Oh, he wore glasses?
No, he looked like a turtle. But I got him to come out of his shell. Yes. Let's hear it for electricity. Hip, hip, hooray!
Let's hear it for electricity.
If it wasn't for Thomas Edison, we'd be watching the electrical parade in the dark.
Some of us are, Betty. So far, I am impressed. 28,000 acres, the Magic Kingdom, Epcot Center. Let's eat.
Would you like to hear about a dream?
It's not the one where you kiss Tom Selleck and his mustache faints.
Please, Bea, there are children watching with mustaches. Now, in 1965, I was standing in line at Disneyland with Wilbur Wainwright. He was the one who invented flesh-colored socks for people who wanted the Don Johnson look but didn't want their feet to get all sweaty.
Is there a point to this story?
Of course.
Get to it.
Everyone in the world was talking about Walt Disney's new park, except for Walt.
And what about you and Mr. Flesh-Colored Socks?
We were still standing in line.
Oh, it's so nice to hear a story with a happy ending.
Not entirely. Flesh-colored socks never caught on.
I'm not sure if I should laugh or cry. Does it seem possible that it has been over 20 years since the monkeys got together?
To do what?
To be the monkeys. Now, 20 years later, they have gotten back together.
To do what?
To be the monkeys.
Gee, it seems like they keep doing that. Did you just see who I just saw?
Who?
Well, I think I just saw the air supply heading into Flower Alley. If we run, we can catch them.
If we run, we'll need air supply directly from a plastic mass.
They think they can sneak by me. Huh? Come on.
For millions of people all over the world, Walt Disney World and the name Disney represent the American heritage and the true spirit of the red, white, and blue.
What better place to kick off our nation's year-long celebration of the 200th anniversary of our Constitution than right here in Town Square? Walt Disney's idea of the typical American town at the turn of the century.
Our forefathers gathered in a town like this in 1787, but gathering here tonight are Charlton Heston, Ray Charles, and hundreds of Americans uniting in song and celebration.
Every time I see Big Thunder Mountain, I yearn for the turn of the century, when gentlemen were gentlemen, when traveling by train was the height of elegance, and a woman like myself could depend on the kindness of strangers. Those were the words of Tennessee Williams.
You sound more like Tennessee Ernie Ford, but I will agree with you. That was an enchanting period in our history, but rugged. Betty, do you know, in those days, great entertainers would travel by train to bring song and music to every part of the country. And that's why Gladys Knight and the Pips are on board for the birthday party.
Oh, they're so wonderful, but why couldn't we have some of the original entertainers from the 1800s here at the party?
Betty, they're all dead.
My, oh, my.
Betty, I'm confused. Everyone's talking about how much fun they had earlier today at Epcot Center. I thought we were at Walt Disney World.
Everything here is part of Disney World. The party's being held in the Magic Kingdom, and that's right next to Epcot Center. EPCOT stands for the Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow.
That's easy for you to say.
It was Walt Disney's visionary concept of a place where man and machines would work together in the best of all worlds. Walt was talking about it as far back as 1964.
How much do you tip a robot for a wiener? I wonder how one of those suckers would taste on a bun with mustard and onions.
So, B, what do you think of Epcot Center now that I've told you all about it?
Well, it really gives me an appetite. Come on, let's go eat.
Oh, no, wait until you see Fort Wilderness. Everybody goes there on their first visit.
But fine, why don't I just sit here so I won't get in their way?
Oh, but B, it's filled with horses and cowboys and good guys and bad guys and shootouts.
So is my hotel room.
Lucky girl.
Be honest, Betty, this is one great birthday party.
Oh, it's only beginning to get hot. Diane Carroll's performing at the party over at the Crystal Palace.
Now, that is my kind of party. A beautiful star and a beautiful setting. Oh, if only...
If only what?
If only there was some way to work in a busload of barbershop quartets, it would be perfect.
B, this is Walt Disney World, where dreams come true. You want barbershop quartets? You got barbershop quartets.
Why didn't I ask for Tom Selleck?
Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over the place for you.
Well, you didn't find me.
Come on, B, we're going over to Epcot Center.
Again? You were there this afternoon.
Well, I want to see it with you at night.
Look, let's compromise. I'll stay here and you go away.
Oh, B, don't you want to experience everything there is to experience, feel everything there is to feel, touch everything there is to touch?
I haven't heard that line since Stephen Kilburn tried to kiss me goodnight on our first date when I was 14.
Well, don't you want to see the World Showcase and everything else at Epcot?
Send me a postcard.
Oh, I'll do better. Look at the pictures I took this afternoon. I love Paris in the springtime. I love Paris in the fall. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles.
Betty, that was marvelous. You know, I feel like I've actually just been to Epcot Center.
Do you want to go there with me?
Why? Well, I just got back.
Well, we've got to go take some more pictures.
Betty, you've already taken hundreds of pictures. Why so many?
With the new tax law. Listen, if we're going to deduct this trip, we've got to have plenty of proof.
Keep on snapping.
How many different lands there are at Disney World?
I bet you're going to tell me.
There's Fantasyland, Adventureland, Frontierland, Tomorrowland.
No Countryland? I mean, country music is so popular, and it's such a part of America. Oh, Betty, there should be a Countryland.
Why, B. Arthur, I didn't know you were country. Who are your favorite country songwriters?
Stephen Sondheim, Marvin Hamlish, and Charlie Daniels.
Oh, B, I bet you just said Charlie Daniels because he's at the birthday party.
Well, that's true, but I happen to think he is terrific. You know, he would kill them on Broadway.
Happy birthday, Walt Disney World!
I just love Charlie Daniels. What about you, B?
Yahoo!
Oh, I thought his music would really turn you on.
Oh, well, did. I mean, can I help it if I go Yahoo when I'm excited?
You know what I do when I'm
I
excited?
know. I was in the audience when you won the Emmy.
I thought I heard someone yelling Yahoo. I thought it was rude.
She'd already left with one of the ushers.
So, what do you think of Walt Disney World?
You know, I'll bet right now there are new projects on the drawing boards.
Oh, the Disney Imagineers have lots of new projects.
You know what they are? Tell me.
Well, they're going to be opening a Disney studio tour where the public can watch movies and television shows actually being shot.
I'll be there. Do you know that on my days off, I love to watch other performers do their shows? Why, last week, I watched Vanna White turn the letters for the phrase, "A stitch in time saves 9."
You lead such a full life.
Well, I try. What else is planned for the future?
Well, over at Epcot Center, a new Norway pavilion will become the 11th country to join the World Showcase.
I love Norway. It's so Nordic.
I've heard that. Guess what else is coming? Typhoon Lagoon Water Park and a journey to the top of Mount Fuji without ever leaving the park.
You know, Walt was right when he said this incredible place would never be finished.
So the dream lives on. After 15 exciting years, it's good to know that the magic will always be with us.
Birthdays come and birthdays go. The sun will rise and set, and yet the child in us can stay forever young. As long as there are games to play and roads to ride and songs to be sung. The party never ends.
I knew you were going to love your first visit to Walt Disney World.
I really loved it. I'm so glad we came.
All good things must come to an end, and we have to be headed home.
I'm not going.
Oh, he's kidding. I bet you can't wait till your next visit. That's what everybody says.
I'm not leaving, and you're not either.
But, B, we have to be on the set tomorrow morning.
We are staying here.
Why?
I can't remember where we parked the car.
Good night, everybody, and happy birthday, Walt Disney World.
Happy birthday. Start looking.